The Winnipeg Jets had an excellent regular season. They had 46 regulation wins, more than any team in the National Hockey League. Even with the statistical noise of loser points, the Jets finished with the second-best point total in the Western Conference, at a cool 110. For this, they were granted a first-round matchup against the 109-point Colorado Avalanche, who carpet-bombed them into oblivion. Technically a 4-1 series loss. The Carolina Hurricanes also had an excellent regular season. They racked up 111 points, had the most regulation wins in the Eastern Conference at 44, and perhaps most impressively, played before sold-out crowds all season in a place that's been a wasteland at various points in its NHL life. Great job, Canes. For this, even after dusting off the New York Islanders in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, the Hurricanes have been granted a second-round date with the New York Rangers, the only team in the East that finished above them in the regular season. Welcome, again, to the NHL's incredibly frustrating divisional playoff format. It's one of the dumbest things the league continues to abide by, and this is the same NHL that for years insisted everything was going tickety-boo with the Arizona Coyotes. Every spring, the divisional format spits out unfair pairings. Fairness is, admittedly, a fuzzy concept in professional sports, but in this case, it refers to the idea that the NHL regular season has meaning beyond simply being an 82-game dress rehearsal for the restart of the playoffs. Teams that perform well over that 6-month slog should earn a decided edge in the initial playoff rounds. The NHL even acknowledges this to a point, giving the 4 division winners first-round matchups against the 4 wildcard teams. But instead of seeding the conferences 1 through 8, the second and third place teams in each division are paired. Leaving aside the problematic instances when wildcard teams have more points than playoff teams in weaker divisions, the system really falls apart when one division is decidedly stronger than the other, which happens often. This year's Central has 3 teams with more points than any team in the Pacific other than the Canucks. The Metropolitan's 2 top teams, the Rangers and Hurricanes, had more points than any Atlantic team. This is how you end up with the Jets stuck against the Avalanche instead of a softer matchup against the Predators or Kings. The Oilers, 6 points back of Winnipeg in the West and with 7 fewer regulation wins, end up paired with the 99-point Kings and brush them aside without much fuss. This inequity would be easier to understand if there were some kind of benefit to it. The NHL thinks there is, with Commissioner Gary Bettman insisting whenever he's asked about it that the league wants to preserve regional matchups in the early rounds to take advantage of classic rivalries. But that rarely happens.